Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're taking a really simple English-speaking exercise and basically taking it apart to see what makes it tick. We're going to look at the psychology behind it and show you why it's just such a powerful way to build real, lasting confidence.
All right, let's just jump right in. The whole thing kicks off with this incredibly powerful line. And this isn't just a catchy opening. It's a promise. It's telling you, hey, we're skipping the boring textbooks and getting right to the good stuff, the actual speaking. For anyone who's ever felt buried in grammar rules but still scared to talk, this is like a breath of fresh air. It sets the stage for doing, not just studying.
And that really brings us to the whole point of this entire practice. It's all about making that leap from just knowing something in your head to actually being able to do it. Now here's what's so smart about this. The goal isn't just to talk faster or to use more words. The real target is what they call vocal fluency. And that means it's designed to build up your self-assurance, your confidence, and your ability to just be understood. It completely changes the game from I need to be perfect to I need to communicate confidently. And that right there is a much healthier and honestly a much more achievable goal.
So how does it actually build that confidence? Well, now we get to the engine room of the whole operation. 5 very specific affirmations. And these aren't just random happy thoughts. Each one is carefully engineered to target and break down a specific mental barrier that stops us from speaking.
The very first one goes straight for the biggest hurdle, fear. I mean, think about it. By saying this over and over again, as if it's already true, you start to rewire your own self-image. It's like you're giving a direct order to your brain, replacing that little voice that says, I can't do this, with a new one that says, oh yeah, watch me.
This next one is just brilliant. It completely shifts your focus. You stop worrying about every little grammar mistake and instead start thinking about the real purpose of language, which is connecting with people. The new goal becomes, can they understand my idea? It's all about being effective, not being flawless.
Okay, this one is absolutely crucial because it builds what we call a growth mindset. This statement turns fluency from some scary, far-off destination into a journey you're already on. It gives you permission to be a work in progress, which takes a ton of pressure off and makes every single practice feel like a win.
And this next line, it just doubles down on that feeling. When you pair it with the last one, it helps you actually notice your own progress. It's a way of kind of looking over your shoulder and seeing how far you've come, and that builds the momentum you need to keep showing up tomorrow.
This last one might be my favorite. It's so clever. It's a practical instruction disguised as a belief. It connects your mind directly to your body. You know that feeling when you get nervous and you start talking a mile a minute? Well, this statement grounds you. It forces you to control your breath and your pace, and guess what? That makes you sound more confident and way more clear.
Now, all of these affirmations would be pretty much useless without one super simple, totally non-negotiable instruction. This is the key that turns the ignition and makes the whole system actually work.
The instruction is simply this: speak out loud. And the difference, as you can see, is massive. Reading in your head is passive. It's just a mental game. But saying the words out loud, that's active. That's a physical workout for your mouth, your jaw, your tongue. You're building muscle memory. And most importantly, it creates this auditory feedback loop. You actually hear yourself, which lets your brain make tiny adjustments on the fly. It speeds up the learning process like you wouldn't believe.
Okay, so let's talk about the final piece of this puzzle. The whole exercise wraps up with a call to action. And it seems really simple on the surface, but it's actually a powerful little trick for building a habit that sticks.
It asks you to go and publicly comment, I practiced today. So why? What's the point of this little public announcement?
Well, it turns out it's a 4-part psychological hack. First, accountability. The second you put it out there that you did it, you're way more likely to do it again tomorrow. Second, it's a super simple way to track your progress and build a streak. Third, it creates a sense of community. You see other people doing it, and it keeps you motivated. And finally, it creates a positive reinforcement loop. Just the act of typing it out makes the achievement feel real, which makes you feel good and want to do it again.
So, when we put all these little pieces together, what we first thought was just a simple little speaking exercise, well, it reveals itself to be a whole lot more.
It's actually a complete system. You start with the premise, action first. It's powered by an engine of smart, targeted affirmations. It gets activated by the physical act of speaking out loud, and it's kept alive by a public accountability loop. Each part is simple on its own, but together they create this incredibly powerful tool.
And when you strip away all the analysis, the psychology, the mindset shifts, all the habit-forming tricks, it all boils down to this: one single powerful principle. The most important takeaway is that consistent, active practice is the only thing that builds a real skill, period.
Which really just leaves us with one final question for you to think about. If this much strategy can be packed into such a simple routine, what could any of us, achieve by applying just 5 minutes of this kind of focused, confident practice to our own goals every single day?